All right, welcome to the closing session of the 30th anniversary conference of EEAC here in Paasitorni in Helsinki, Finland. This session now is, of course, it's an opportunity to look back on the past 2 days here. But first, we'll look briefly into the future. Next year's conference will be hosted by Romania. And Mr. Laszlo Borbély from the Romanian Prime Minister's office has kindly agreed to give a few words on their plans for next year. So please, Mr. Borbély, come join me on the stage. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It was 2 beautiful days for me, not just because I feel that I told to Arno, we are like a family, yes? And we have a lot of positive energy, and it's important. And here there are many personalities in different areas, but we want a better world, yes? And that's why I would like to thank to our host, of course. First, we will try next year to be a good host, and I hope that we will prove this in Romania. Romania is a beautiful country, one of the most beautiful countries in Europe. So you have to be there next year. And for sure, for me and my colleagues, we will be very active because we have our consultative council, and we will support all your initiatives in the future. So thank you, Arno. Thank you for organizing with you, with your colleagues, the volunteers, and we will have music. Unfortunately, I have to leave at 3 o'clock, so thank you very much for inviting me, and see you in Romania. We say noroc, which is good luck, yes, and we, as a glass of champagne, we say noroc. So noroc for Romania, for EEAC, and for a better life. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and I really hope there will be champagne next time we meet. You guys already have your microphone. So now, the next up in this session, we'll meet a group of students and teachers from Otaniemi Upper Secondary School, which is located some 7 kilometers to the west from here. I just checked that on Google Maps. They've prepared messages to researchers and decision makers. And now also briefly, after their talk, we'll see a brief video reel that shows some of the highlights from the past 2 days. But now it is my honor to invite the group from Otaniemi. Please take the stage.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Aki Saareho, and I'm one of the teachers in our group. So we have a Sustainable Future Club, as you can see, at our school. We too are the teachers, but most importantly, we brought our students with us from our group who have the really pressing and immediate messages that they want to say out loud as well. But we'll start with a brief introduction. I think that was in order next. Thank you.
Yeah, and I'm the other teacher, Kirsi Haapamäki, biology and geography teachers, and the students are...
Hi, I'm Elina.
I'm Annika.
And I'm Ida.
Okay, something first about our school and what we do there. School is for us an important place, our mini world, to learn to do things in a new way. Even this moment is for us about learning new things. There are so many people at school society, and quite often we can just decide to do things in another way. Like when we moved to the new school building 3 years ago, we definitely wanted to recycle all our waste. That was not possible at that time in Espoo, our home city. But finally, 10 schools were allowed to test dividing different waste to recycling. And today, it's a new normal. all upper secondary schools recycled their waste. This was really an empowering experience to us. We also want to say that this work is about curiosity and concrete utopias, positive ones. It's inspiring, not depressing. For example, we have created a terrace garden of 20 square meters for growing food with 10 euros, because we made everything based on circular economy. Students designed the project themselves. Sofas from cheap wooden crates, seeds for seedlings from biowaste, biocarbon from the sticks in the yard, soil and fertilizers from school biowaste with bokashi compost, and garden equipment as a donation. Another example, we were able to take part in Finnish climate law workshop. Students were able to take part in school, but they said they never would have done that on their own. Still, they wanted to let the government to know that this is an excellent way to get young people to know about new things and let them make a change.
The sustainability goals that countries and the EU have are for a long time period. We feel like they're a bit too far away, and we would like to see development and change in our daily lives. We do understand that societies and countries take time to change structures and laws, but we think that this transition should all happen even faster and maybe in more concrete ways. Attitudes toward climate actions are often divided into two. Some think individuals are responsible, but some think that the efforts of individuals are useless because governments and big companies who cause a lot of these emissions are responsible for the actions. I think that this should be divided in half and half because the efforts of one individual can inspire others, and by our everyday choices, we consumers shape the market and what companies do. On the other hand, governments have power to enforce laws designating and limiting these actions of the corporations. Some of this uncertainty of responsibility can be caused by the fact that we don't really know what happens behind the scenes of, for example, these climate projects. This is where the aspect of time comes in, because the schedules of different goals are often so far away that one feels like nothing happens just when it isn't seen. I think this could be solved by informing citizens more about what's happening and giving better media visibility for these kind of news instead of only informing about catastrophes caused by climate change. Also, we children and young adults look up to adults and learn norms from them, whether they are teachers or parents. This is why you, adults, have some responsibility in the way you act, because children mimic it.
Is it fair that Europeans live a prodigal life at the expense of other people and animals and nature, plus millions of people suffer from climate change, rising sea level, stronger storms, famine and lack of water? Big plastic companies sell plastic to poorer countries which don't have a functioning recycling system for plastic. So the streets and rivers are filled with plastic. The responsibility is ours. Our cultures encourage us to buy more, buy new. It's disgusting that so many things we enjoy have caused suffering to so many people and animals. And we here in Europe are the last ones who have to suffer for that. Money can't be too big factory. If we think about money and what is the best for us right now, we will not have a future.
That one, okay. I have a bit for sciences before Ida closes the speech that we have, or the students have here. For scientists, we want to say, open your mouth, please. Out loud, shout or scream, but please be in the discussion wherever you can. We need peer-reviewed studies, scientific journals, informative podcasts, everything that tells us the truth and nothing but all kinds of truth. The state of our climate, biodiversity's ups and downs, how to degrow, all of these we must hear from you, people dedicated to studying how the world works. Oh, and we want the same as you. We want to hear of new ways of doing things.
Our Prime Minister Sanna Marin and her government had lots of promises and talks concerning the climate crisis and conservation of nature. I was relieved when I heard that this government will do something, but now I feel like these were promises, were just talks, and a lot of things were undone. I actively sign petitions about climate and nature, and since there are still a lot of them, I feel like the government hasn't done enough. For example,
For example, there are petitions for banning forest loggings and turning old forests into nature reserves. That is, I think, a job that the government should have done, because Finland has only a factor of reserved forests and the majority is for industry. Although forests cover 75% of Finland's surface area, it doesn't equate to EU's requirements of the biodiversity of forests. Secondly, I am concerned that nature conservation is only done by a few organizations when I feel like it should be done diversely by many groups. Also, it isn't fair that the smaller groups that are trying to help forests, for instance, are being shut down by the bigger and more powerful groups that are chasing money. I think that many can agree that the decisions are made in terms of the economy and not how it would be best for a sustainable development. To end this, we are very happy to be here today to talk about these things, but we would be even happier when things started to happen. On the behalf of all of us, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Annika and Ida and Elina and your teachers. And I know that your demands were heard here in this room by many researchers and some politicians, and I hope they will be heard on and on again in wider circles. And now during these past 2 days, we've talked a lot about ways to join forces between policymakers and scientists and the private sector and activists and other citizens in order to push for the urgently needed sustainability transformation in Europe. And we've talked about Europe's global responsibilities and new ways of doing things, as you put it. And we've talked about the importance of fairness and justice and democracy in climate change mitigation and biodiversity conservation. And we've also talked about concrete policy actions that we want to see happening now. And of course, over and over again, we've heard that the current political and economic crisis must not override the commitments made to tackle these planetary crises that are not going away. Now we're going to see this brief highlights video. And after that, where we have some time for thanks and music. Okay. Now it's been a delight and an honor to meet so many participants and speakers here during these 2 days, and I hope you're taking inspiration and new ideas home. I'm sure I am. And in particular, I want to thank the Secretariat at each of the 3 independent science panels who organized this conference. So the Finnish Expert Panel for Sustainable Development, the Finnish Climate Change Panel, and the Finnish Nature Panel. You've done an amazing amount of work to make this happen. And thank you also to hosts here at Paasitorni. And thank you each and every volunteer who has helped with the hundreds of tasks that it takes to make an event like this happen. And now we are going to have some music, but before that, I'll tell you that when the music stops, our time here at this room is over. Some of you have signed up to participate in the excursion to Harakka Island, which is a really lovely place. It's one of my favorite places in Helsinki, and do look for the public artwork by H.R. Giger. So when you leave for there, you're going to find information on where to gather, where to find the bus from our organizers here. Do you have the information now? Same place as yesterday, behind the building, in front of the building, at 4. Okay, so at 4 in front of the building for the excursion to Harakka. Now we will hear Vimma. They're right here behind me. They play progressive folk/pop music with lyrics about the climate crisis and Finnish mythology and utopias, which I think is a wonderful triangle to kind of take on all that's important in the world. Thank you again, everyone, and Vimma, the stage is yours.
Hello, we are Dimma, and now we are going to play you songs about things that we really want to give value to. The next song is called Animal Song, and I have a story. When I was little, like 5 years old, I used to walk around in the forests in the Sami land where my family is from, and I was always so afraid of tigers that somehow they would be like this tribes and the tiger would like get me. But then I grew up and I realized that almost all of the tigers are already dead. So this is a song for these imaginary tigers of my childhood.
Okay. So this next song, I don't know how many of you followed the news last April. There was this train coming from Russia filled with coal, and then there were some activists, like me and my friends, and we stopped the train, and then we camped on the train and next to the train for 10 days. It was ours. And yeah, so actually I stole a piece of that coal anthracite, the oldest kind. So this is like a song for the coal. If you want to pass it around, I mean, it's 350 million years ago when that shit was living and breathing. So yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Let's go. It's well known that Earth is dying, being killed, and those killings have names and addresses and relatives. sen tuohon äskeiseen liittyen vielä, että täällä on ihmisiä paikalla, niin jos tulee ideoita, että mitä kannattaisi blogata, mikä on mahdollisimman tehokasta, niin silleen, please kertokaa. Mä oon taideopiskelija ja yritän keksiä sitä. Mä luulen, että täällä on paremmat aivot siihen hommaan. Eli onks Kalle? Eli Kalle, missä toi on Kalle? In English. Oh, that's right. Sorry. Yeah, no, I was just saying that if you come up with a next thing to blog, like, hit me up. So this next song is Kalle's song, this is Kalle, and it's Kalle's song. It's, and like, yes, living in this time and being young in this time means that the climate crisis will be the framework of my life for the rest of my life. So this is kind of about that and feeling